guys, welcome back.
What's up, guys?
This is gonna be a shit show.
Yeah, so much for not Chris, and yeah, it's gonna be a shit show. Yeah, we've been gone for a while. Life happened. Things have been happening, but we're back for your entertainment pleasure. Back to another run of this perfect no hit, no death, perfect
Lies.
act series. All right, fine. All right. This video is going to be a little bit different. I've already recorded the footage of it, and we're be doing voiceovers. We're going to try it this way, see how it works. Maybe our audio will be a little bit better, but yeah, we're going to give it a shot like this and go from there. This is actually really weird because I'm watching myself play, and like I was telling Princess before, I was like, I feel myself judging myself. I was like, oh, why is it taking me so long in all these menus? Look at my attaché case, it's a mess. All I did here, I sold my handgun, the one that you start the game with. I got all the 15 medals. And he gives you the Punisher, the gun that I have now, the handgun, for free. If you get 10 medals, he gives you the Punisher. If you get all 15, he gives you the Punisher, and it's upgraded slightly. So that's nice. So we are going to head to probably what is my favorite boss fight. One of my favorite boss fights in the entire game. In all honesty, what happened?
That's the one, isn't it? Mr. Fishy Fish.
Oh yeah. And what's coming up next here is is quite a treat, and quite honestly, wow. I don't know if you noticed that right there, but the game's running. We're running this on my PlayStation 4, so the graphics and the frame rate is up to quite a bit. But when you see me running from the boulder, Leon starts running really, really fast, and it looks a little janky, but it's fine. Yeah, the part coming up here is quite a treat. But this room, I actually personally don't care for this room too much.
Which?
I call it a room, but this area that I'm in, like when you hit a loading door and you go on to the next area, I call it a room. But
So what would you call this area?
This is just an area that I don't care.
There's no name for it?
Fucking sucks.
Because there's like the water room, right?
Oh, there's the water room.
So, but there's no real name for this part.
No, this is just a part. I don't care for it because, I mean, normally I blitz through this. But after what was this game? This came out in 2005. We're at 12 plus years. I'm a little bit smarter now because I got the treasure map. And the treasure map tells me that there's a treasure here that I need to get.
For the first time ever.
This is literally the first time I've ever gotten this treasure ever. The antique pipe, which looks really cool, by the way.
It really does.
So that's why I'm actually bothering to take my time through this whole area. Normally I would blitz through it. I don't care for this area because there's enemies coming at you from all different angles.
Oh yeah, so good throw with that missing shot.
Shh, this is the perfect action. Nobody saw that. What are you talking about? Man, it is.
Oh no!
They probably said that. They probably was like.
I still cannot believe they freaking dodge like that.
That blows my mind for a game.
Can you stop taking my words out my mouth, please?
I'm trying. I'll just shut my stupid mouth. I'll shut it right now. It really bothers me when my attaché case doesn't have all my ammos properly lined up.
Oh, there's a dude there. Where'd he come from?
I kicked him and he didn't die. And you're gonna notice later on in the games, the shoot the face, kick them is a really, really good tool for early game. Later on, though, you're gonna be going against more equipped enemies, and the whole shoot, kick, knife them starts to become less and less viable.
Hey, Brandon.
Oh boy! Wow, we're just throwing him under the bus. You know what? Fine. This is, if you
So,
guys remember here, the two police officers in the beginning. This is the second one that's not roasted on a pike, and the what happens to him is probably a bit more unfortunate than the first guy. Um, Definitely, as you'll see here soon, one of my favorite bosses, just on design alone. And that is one of my fears. That is one of my biggest fears, is in open water, just a big old graboid like him coming out and just wrecking you. So, on design alone, I really appreciate this boss a lot. And it's actually one of my bigger problems that I have with the previous Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 0.
never heard of it. For real, like legit.
You're fine. That's fine. It's pretty forgettable. Well, it has Billy Cohen, who's the biggest badass ever, but it's actually a pretty forgettable game for me. One of the reasons why I personally don't care for it is because all the big bosses are just generic animals that are just big. Like, oh, it's a giant... Like, well, the first one's is a scorpion that you fight on a train. And it doesn't look any different from a scorpion that you would find in real life, and it's kind of boring. Whereas here, Dalaga, who we just saw, is based off of a salamander, but it's all diseased and messed up looking, but salamanders are kind of weird looking alone, so all you gotta do is just sprinkle a little bit of the Plagas juice on it, and it's just a little Plagas, a little Parmesan Plagas. And it looks all weird and gross looking.
Yummy.
This is the best part in this entire LP ever. This is because I got to troll my wife.
I was so mad, you guys. He was like, hey, babe, can you do me a favor? And I said, what's up? He's like, can you try and shoot these fish for me? I want to see how you do an aiming. And I'm like, okay. So
because the aiming's different when you have a gun that has a stock and it doesn't, so I wanted her to legitimately see.
Shut your mouth. He's lying. He's like, okay, so this is me grabbing the controller, and I'm like,
the controller's completely out of my hand right now.
I'm like, oh god, I can't do this, and I'm gonna like waste all your bullets, and I'm trying so hard to line these damn fish up. And legit, you guys, I'm gonna kill our friend Brandon. I'm gonna literally just fly to his house and like drop a couple bombs and just leave.
Thank you, Brandon, already for this.
I screamed and jumped so freaking hard and almost threw the controller at the TV.
Classic.
I had palpitations. I almost died. Oh my god.
Now, that's a little Easter egg, and the game trolls you because you can't actually reach those fish. And it just trolls you. You can't walk down to the water or anything. So that death is going to count against me, but that's unintentional. Shut up. And it didn't. I have notifications off for the sake of these videos. But I actually got an award, an achievement for that says "Don't shoot the water."
Yeah.
So for completionist sake, you actually helped me out, babe. I appreciate that. Thanks for taking one for the team, because honestly, that part still freaked me out, and I didn't want to do it.
So he just throws me under the bus like that, and I do all the hard work while he reaps all the benefits.
Listen, to be fair, you did do the village sequence the one time you touched this within a span of 3 flip kicks and completely just beasted over something that was supposed to be difficult, and it hurt my feelings. So you know what? That's what you get for that.
I told you. I knew you were salty about that.
A sodium levels mind you.
They were highly level elevated.
So this boss fight's interesting because you don't get your guns at all. You have a boat, and you have these harpoons, and you have the Dalago, and go. You can't quite tell but your steering is not great because he's actually tugging your boat back and forth, to and fro. So the biggest part here, which is really annoying, is those logs, those tree stumps in the middle of the lake. They will knock you off your boat, and you'll have to match square to get back. Also, the aiming of the harpoon is not great in this sequence, so you kind of have to aim up. What makes this boss fight not really difficult in terms of like execution, but just in function. When he's tugging the boat like that back and forth, like you see right there, you can't aim. I'm sitting here matching the aim button, and Leon's just jerking around, and you can't actually grab a harpoon and swim one. And it's a little infuriating. Like right here, can't do it until right there. I line up.
I feel like when he flips around like that, he'd flip the boat.
Oh, easily. It's video gaming
Concept.
little logic there. There's no way. And I'm shocked I did not get hit in that entire fight at all. I promise you I will not be doing the rest of the boss fights as flawlessly. I'll be honest right here. This cutscene right here, this little prompt, I promise, got the majority of players the first time they play this. Because you think, again, it's a cutscene. I'm just going to watch this. I'm not expecting, oh shit, it's Mass X or Square or whatever. No, I say that because in the harder difficulty, the prompts change mid-mash.
Oh.
And if you keep mashing a square when X shows up, get fucked, you're going to drown.
Well, that's booty.
It's really easy to up the difficulty.
Yeah, I would act the same way, buddy.
God, that was... I don't know if you saw in his hand there, it was a little blurry, but he was coughing up blood. And now, there's the morning shift.
Man, I'm telling you, that's me on a daily.
No kidding.
Where's my coffee?
Yeah, that was... Delago is... just on design alone. I keep saying it over and over, but I actually really do like that boss fight. But also makes you point out, hey, you know, if you didn't have those harpoons in the boats, you would be fucked. Like, you would be ruined.
Yeah.
Bullets ain't gonna get through that. I don't think I have anything. Well, maybe my rifle.
Let's just point out how many harpoons were on that tiny ass little boat.
3, but infinity. Oh, by the way,
Infinity?
I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, it's freaking out. The viruses are like,
oh, his herpes are acting up.
It's getting another flare up, you guys.
Ah, shit.
Oh, that actually looks really good. But
it was all a dream.
It was all a dream. This one's the real one because he fell on his stomach. Ooh, little details. Little details that I don't think we actually caught the first time. I sure as did.
You know, and then the nice thing about this is... Oh, cutscene.
Leon, it's been 6 hours since our last transmission. I was starting to get worried.
Don't you mean lonely? Anyway, I started to feel dizzy, and then I guess I must have lost consciousness.
Lost consciousness? Maybe that has some connection to what the village chief was talking about.
Can't say. But I'm all right now. I'm gonna continue my mission.
So I want to point out something that Hunnigan says here. Leon, what happened? It's been a little bit over 6 hours since our last transmission. I'm sorry, but the hand-holding of... would be working... What is Leon working for? The CIA. He's the personal bodyguard of the president's daughter, so he's somewhere up there. But the hand-holding is a little ridiculous. You would think after 6 hours of not hearing from Leon, we would cancel the mission. But no, I just lost consciousness. I'm fine. So, back at it we go. And honestly, that's the only... I love that boss fight, but I don't like the fact that I don't have control over my movement and I can't use my guns. And I really like my guns in this game. That part upsets me a little bit. But I have 3 infinity harpoons, so who cares?
3 infinity.
3 infinity harpoons.
That's like 3 fast, 5 serious.
3 fast, 5 serious, yeah.
5 serious.
5 scarious. What are we talking about here? Oh, the faster and furious, sir. How many movies? let's see, we have like at least
The
20
last
Resident
one,
Evils.
oh, for the movies, I'm thinking of the Fast and the Furious franchise.
No, the Fast and Furious, because I'm
I
trying to
think
think.
the seventh one is where Brian dies. Sorry, spoilers. If you haven't
Spoilers
seen
of
it.
who cares? They put his
I
ghost face
think
on his brother.
they're doing an East one now, if I'm not mistaken. Or I have been an East one.
Which one's the one with the runway? The airplane runway
Six, I believe.
that goes forever. Oh, this is a little. This is a little sidetrack here. This is a little Easter egg that I actually did not know about until just recently. If you take the boat, because we parked our boat on the other side of the lake. If you take it back to where you actually came from originally, you get this little cutscene. And this is why I ran back here, because I didn't know about this until actually recently. It's very brief, but it introduces an enemy that you'll be encountering later, which everyone normally fought for the first time. That introduces the dogs.
I'm poor baby.
Oh no, it's tragic. Like, there's nothing sadder in life than a dog's whimper. And this part, every single time in later Resident Evil, when they have dogs,
He just wants cuddles.
he just wants cuddles. Also, that would have killed me. Shut up.
Who cares?
Who
He
cares?
just wants love.
And when I heard about this cutscene, all I can find on YouTube are people playing this cutscene and saying, "I've never seen this before." So I actually don't know. I just kind of heard it through a subreddit that I frequent.
But because this is a remastered version, right?
It was in the original.
Was it?
In the original, they had this cutscene. There's people playing it on the GameCube. And I don't know why I shot that nest. I knew that it was nothing but a beacon.
Well, just in case it, shit gets wonky and there happens to be a body falling out. Who knows?
Treasures and nests don't respawn, that's why. So that ring that I got in the early one that you really like, the pearl ring,
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't, there's nothing else that'll pop up. And I thought maybe we'd do like a spin on, but just oh, I'm showing how wonky the boat controls are, and look at his arm when he bends it like that.
Oh.
It doesn't quite look right, and I get stuck here for like a minute. I was like, oh, this is going to be bad, but I got to keep all this in. Like I said, I'm not perfect at this game by any means. But yeah, that arm looks really wonky when he's turning like that.
I'm sorry, but no one can functionally, physically do.
I don't think you were meant to see that because the Delago fight was going on. But yeah,
that's
good thing there's no. Please don't do that. We can't afford you doing your best.
Trying
Leon
to break
Kennedy,
my freaking arm.
Boatmaster Kennedy, boat turning techniques.
Oh, goodness.
So this shop right here, where we find the stranger or the merchant, we're stranger, right?
No.
Okay, right.
I'm still convinced one of these days he's gonna pop out naked under that freaking cloak.
I bet you there's a model on the PC version that has him fully modeled and everything. I'm sure.
That would be great. Hey, take a look at this.
Thank you. This little area is unique because you can actually go on top of his shop like this, and there's actually a treasure that goes into the elegant mess that I almost always never get.
Why does he look like he's bending over waiting for you?
Yeah, it looks like the camera's about to pan up as Leon just all up.
He's gonna get some loving.
Giving something special, stranger.
You're gonna get some strange.
Oh, maybe. He'll buy it to the high price.
Why do you sell that?
Yeah, got it. It's treasure.
It to me. That's so pretty.
I got you a ring. It's the biggest ring of all.
But I need that one too.
No, that doesn't sell for a high price. It sells for a low price.
So it's so pretty.
It's also really nice that you can actually just talk to the merchant man from his shop. Just a little funsies. And I did get some rifle ammo that, so that actually is beneficial. I've also noticed in this version, I'm getting a lot more rifle ammo than I'm used to. They definitely changed in this version. They changed a lot around with how much ammo that you acquire like I'm getting a lot more rifle ammo than I'm used to. Like typically in Resident Evil, I'm also showing off the one because it looks weird.
I was waiting for it.
And I didn't know you can still throw harpoons. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Just in case you're going to go spear fishing.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden another Delago shows up because he knows you're playing again.
Right.
Resident Evil. You almost always start with a handgun. Typically, that's the most common ammo that you find. Next would be shotgun, rifle ammo, machine gun ammo, and then later on, that's when you get your more useful stuff like your magnum ammo and stuff, and those are a lot more powerful. So obviously, you're not going to get as much for it. Like you get 1 or 2 bullets. This part is when the game gets, I'd say, significantly harder because the headbursters now show up. And these guys only show up at night. So, anywhere where it's dark, these guys occasionally will pop off the heads of the normal enemies that you fight. And this is when the game starts getting a little bit harder, but also it can get a little bit more annoying.
Oh, this one nasty looking.
Oh, no, they're proper throws. And this game, especially with the higher resolution and such, made them look even more gross. But a trick to dealing with those guys, and there are some enemies that will always headburst. Like if in a group of like 5, 1 or 2 of them guarantee, even if I shoot them in the leg or the chest, they'll pop no matter what.
Okay.
So there's a trick to dealing with them relatively easy, and that involves the flash grenades, because they only show up in the dark and light just instantly kills them. I didn't know that first couple times going through this game. I would sell every single flash grenade I ever had, and because I was like, flash grenades, who needs those? I'll just shoot them, or throw a regular grenade or something like that. No, that was a big mistake. Flash grenades are not like. And I want to say the best thing you can do is always keep at least one on you, because you'll have your shotgun and your pistols, and you can shoot them off. It's not liable to do that. A rifle shot usually can get them off in 1 or 2 shots. Shotgun blows them away fairly decently. Also, best thing about shotgun is just get people off of you. Handgun wise though, it's not terribly viable with standard handguns to just try to waste your shots and blast them off. It's much easier to throw a grenade if you have it. I believe this is an amber ring. This ring looks pretty. I like the pretty. That one I like. The pearl one looks good.
Oh no, I love pearl. I was actually even thinking for like an engagement ring with pearls and the diamonds, and I was like, nah, when I saw my engagement ring, I was like, that's the one.
Exactly. Don't sell it for a high price, please.
Oh no, this is nice, I love it.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
This is probably the fastest and easiest way to dispatch a group of enemies here. And I don't think this was initially intended, because it is so goofy and so exploitable how you deal with these next guys. And I'm going to show that off. Because I'll be completely honest. If you don't do this, this part gets a little bit more dicier. We're all friends here. You can be on into the...
I don't want to be rude.
No, this is boring as shit. Who cares? This is Resident Evil. We all know who 5 people are watching this.
Resident Street.
if any new viewers are actually watching this, I appreciate you taking the time to enjoy this game with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
What is this, Joker?
Okay, so what you do, you turn around and you wait for these guys to start jumping on the boxes.
Oh.
And the Punisher does this really great because it goes through people and you just pop them and they fall off. This was not intended at all. They did not think of this when testing the game. And you just do the entire.
Unless they did and people just didn't. Why do you like?
Because I'm like, yeah. The crappy part is when they die, they fall. You don't get any items they dropped. But the plus side is you don't have to deal with their heads bursting.
Yeah.
So.
And then the fact that it's less ammo and less risk and just faster all around.
I don't think I used the whole clip in that entire thing. And if you have the Punisher here from shooting the medallions, that makes it even more easier. You can shoot them with anything. If you New Game Plus this and come back with a shotgun, every spread, even doesn't matter from what distance, will knock them off. You can even be a super cool guy if you wait until one actually gets to you to shoot him in the leg and then try to go for the kick. But it's a little bit more riskier like that, so.
Oh, I thought things were being thrown at you.
No, you bastards.
Like, people are throwing crap at you there.
I'm in the Batcave. You didn't know that?
No.
Bat-Leon. I'm Bat-Leon.
Thank
You're the
you.
president's daughter. I'm so cool. Look at my Leonardo DiCaprio Titanic hair. That's a vision of Bruce Wayne that I need in my life.
And then what? Having a love child and having the hairs and the Batmans.
Yeah,
and
I want Leonardo DiCaprio as my Batmans. Now, question. About how long ago was that boss fight with Delago?
Like an actual time?
Like, I don't know, about 10 minutes or so? Because this is... Maybe? Well, we could just check the little timeline when we're done editing this. But this part, they throw 2 boss fights at you relatively back to back. Granted, I do get some healing items and some
that guy's sexy.
This is El Gigante.
Or we call him El Potato. He looks like a potato. Look at his face. Potato face.
Why are you so rude? Man, you are really sticking it to the vloggers people these days. I don't know about this. Fastball special. And it's literally this boss fight really stood out for me because this is unlike anything.
That's Angry Shred.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Shred's had enough of your bullshit. He was like, get the fuck out of here.
This is the first type of enemy in this kind of game that I play because it literally just like a damn cave troll from like a Lord of the Rings movie. But this fight, you can really start feeling the tension early.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling the tension, right here. Whoa, hey, who's that?
Ow!
Remember who that is?
That's the little buddy from me.
From the beginning, and he makes a gigantic leap on a wounded leg and helps you. The best pupper.
Give him like a big ass fat skate.
The best pupper.
And adopt him and give him all the shit.
I wish he was a companion for the rest of the game.
That would actually be really cool.
He is unfortunately on the section. And so it is beneficial when starting the game, do not shoot the bear trap that dog is stuck in.
Oh, because
he'll just run away and he won't show up. So it's important that you actually go up there and open it up. And this is a bullet saver right here. You do enough damage to him, he'll fall over, and you jump on his back, and you just slash him down.
You don't like that. He goes, oh, my lump.
You want to talk about Dr. Pimple Popper? Boy, do we have a customer for you.
Yes. That's the lead. Hey, if you're watching this, girl, hit us up.
Oh, Jesus. This boss fight's kind of intense because it's a small arena, and his attacks are pretty wide, but I'm actually doing a relatively decent job.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I forgot to.
Hold on. We're having some technical foibles here.
No, I just forgot to turn the volume down on this part.
Okay. Let's turn it. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. For boss fights.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
You can use double herbs, triple regular green herbs if you need to heal like in between boss fights, but I like to save those.
Or the little eggies.
The eggs are also good too, but I don't think you get many more later on. There are snakes.
Oh yeah, or fishies. You come across fish, right?
I don't think so in the other two sections. I think fish are only here.
Oh, okay.
I bet you there's an award for killing a fish and you attach it to the whole game.
Oh, we should try that.
So it's a small battle arena. He moves pretty well at you, and this is when the just sprint ahead, quick turn, fire technique is used quite a bit in this game when it comes to bosses. There's a lot of bosses here that you can actually circumvent relatively easy just by circling them or just running in a straight line.
Okay, can I point out how ridiculous that looks when he was super close to him, and then when he goes and runs up on him, he's like 30 feet back already, and then he was just like, it's consistency-wise, it didn't make sense.
That's cutscene Leon.
Yeah.
He's like, hold on, I gotta look cool.
I'm just gonna like cutscene teleport real quick.
And with this thing, with this almost pig bearish noises, I don't like the sounds that Elgiganto makes. There's actually items in these houses that I completely forgot to get that you can run in and grab and help you. It's like shotgun ammo, treasure that you don't need right there. Other items that if he actually would have hit with the tree that you saw him grab, he would knock those houses down and then it'd be more exposed. But yeah, two bosses like that back to back, it's
A little weird.
It's a little weird and a little resource consuming if you're not ready for it. So I think we're coming up on the end of the episode right here. So we'll see you guys next episode.
Sounds good. See you guys later.